Welcome to the Holub's Christmas Tree Farm. We're out here on a beautiful spring day in Pleasant Hill, and I'd like to take you a tour of the farm. It's still in its early stages, as you can see. Over to the east we have our neighbors, the barns, and across the road we have Sorensen's. So you can tell her in the grass over there. Out that direction is the city of Pleasant Hill, and the Jasper Hills back behind that. These rows of trees were planted about a month ago, and these are Douglas firs. Over behind the large maples and firs we have all of our noble firs seedlings that are planted. Now we'll go on up and speak to some of the workers here on the farm. A clump of seedlings is an old irrigation well. It's hard to tell what's going on there. It's a good place for kids to hang out. I don't see any in there right now. Now you can see some of these larger trees are what we'd call 2-1s. Those have been in the nursery bed for 2 years, and then they were transplanted and healed in for a year in a tree farm, and then we planted them. Over to the left, towards the fence, are some of the smaller ones, and those are 2-0s. Those came straight from the nursery. And all of our noble firs on the other side of the farm are 2-0s, so they're small, 8 inches to 12 inches to start with. We'll go on over there and take a look. This will eventually be the orchard and the front yard of the Holub's place. A couple of big maples and a couple of big old firs. You see a growth of plum trees back there that we're thinning out, and a apple and pear tree. We had to cut down a dead cherry tree, and we'll be planting a little orchard out in front where these stumps are. Over here is kind of a marshy area that's just drying up from the winter rains. We have our well capped off up by the old corral there. And we'll just walk on up here and take a look at the orchard. Wiped out most of the grass and hay from here, from the fields to plant the trees. You can see that we still have some beautiful wildflowers that grow in around here. Early spring we have wild daffodils that just go crazy. There's thousands of them all over the land. These yellow and purple flowers are beautiful. And here we have kind of a rundown archery range that got some good use last year. Didn't help us much with the hunt, we didn't get anything. And then we have the cherry tree right here that we just cut down, with all the little prune plums in behind there that need thinning. And then we have our apple tree that has just been trimmed up. Should be getting some good fruit off of it in the next couple of years. And then an old pear tree that was just trimmed up. We'll get some good fruit. And we'll bring some more trees, and this whole area will be our orchard. Let's go up into the big trees and take a look at all the trimming that needs to be done. And we may even see some of the workers up in here. As you can see, we've got quite a job ahead of us to clear out this area this spring. This will be our spring and summer project. And you can see where we've already got started. That will cut up that wood, and that'll be a big brush fern pile pretty quick. That's today's job. We'll go on up around the corner and we will get a chance to look at the area that's been cleared out. And this orchard area is going to look like this other spot in just another month or two. Now, you can see their van, and oh, it looks like they have their chainsaw out today. I'll have to go up and talk with them and see what's going on. I don't see any activity yet, but I can hear them. Now over in here you start to see the rows of little baby noble firs. And we're looking out towards Cresswell in the south. Out over here on the other side of this ridge is what they call gypsy moth ridge. It's actually rattlesnake ridge, but it's where the infestation of gypsy moths takes place, and they're going to be spraying in the next couple of weeks. And you can see these red stakes here. This is going to be the area where the barn will be built. We'll have a pole barn up here to house all the equipment and tractors and things. And we'll just go on up and talk to these workers. We'll just take a look at one of these big fir trees. It's been around for probably a couple hundred years. We've had a pretty good snow this winter that got to some of those old branches. It's going to be a job to get some of those old broken down branches out of there and clean that up. And a lot of berry bushes to clean up. Oh, I see one of the workers now. Let's go over there and talk to him. Here we are at the Morningstar Tree Farm, and here's some of the workers. Boy, they're working hard. Daddy! Excuse me, young lady. Do you work here on the farm? Yeah. What's your name? What's that? Oh, what are you doing? Raking. What are you raking? Over here working. What's your name? What's your name? Melody. Well, it looks like you're working hard. You're kind of dressed up for working, aren't you? That necklace? You trying to pull that mountain towards you? Oh, and here's some fellow that's cutting down grass over here. What's your name, mister? Ethan Holub. Oh, are you in charge of this farm, or are you just a worker here? Just a worker. Just a worker? You getting paid well enough for this job? Yeah. Good. About $15. It looks like you've been cutting a lot of brush up there. Daddy, and oh, look at a nice wood pile too. Look at this pretty flower. Let's see. Let's zoom in on that pretty flower. Oh boy. What kind of flower is that? You guys sure are good workers. I think I'm going to go over and take a look at these big trees, and then we'll walk over and take a look at the baby trees. But we might be we'll just take a look at these big trees and see what needs to be done. Quite a bit. See that this tree has been tangled and bent over the years. Now, these are some mighty big Christmas trees we got growing on this farm. And then we'll go on over to the big leaf maple trees that someday make a good tree house.